Alright, Uglyjon. We're gonna start this off lighthearted. It's easy listening, you know? You can do that, right? Sweet. I am serving a tremendously towering portion of Captain Morgan's organs to the corpse of a man perched on a worn futon, trapped by a sordid collection of morbid reflections born of the sort of reminders that send lesser primates to their gurus to show up their blinders. Sure, he's toured those inspections before and passed the analysis, but he'd rather pour his infections into a glass and bask in paralysis. Who's to suggest that his adopted methods lack a proper cause? If that's the case, it doesn't matter much. Those calls are lost in seconds in the daunting halls. His mortgage payments provide him the rest in. The angles are sharp, and it's too damn hard to find a connection. He's a solid dude, and those who have met him would say the same. Still, he spends most of his anxious days enslaved in solitude, alone except for his felines, beings who give him a fair cut. The only two beings he can almost take care of. He passes the time wrapping his mind around the masses of grime abound in every direction, with the principal knowledge that he has many incentives to squash this business. He fears that if he dies, his mom will see his composition and blame herself as if she somehow caused this botched condition. And still he won't get off his ass to wash the dishes. And still he won't get off his wash. The cup 7 is almost as delicious as the first fix. He sits sturdy, his nerves flitch, watching the flick for the third time. It's 6:30, the sun's fury quickly imposes its will on his weary eyelids. Little birdies chirp and break the early morning's eerie silence. Toxic tonic soothes his mind, that's a feat to say the least. He's maimed the beast for one night, he might actually sleep today. The peace will last till around supper time, when he awakens to a cluttered mind and an aching back. Looks like it's going to be another fine evening and night. I'm violently feeding his mind. His favorite dish is taking anyone's pain he's ever loved in his life and making it his within the confines of his shell. A hermit crab, he loves it, hates it. The only place he feels at home is in the private slum he's created. He'd rather not burden y'all with details that fuel his meek ways. He figures all on earth suffer to privilege himself as cliche, so he shares repercussions instead, hoping his acknowledgments is something that someone somewhere might possibly find some solace in. If not, it's all good. There really is no need for repentance, because the only way he remained sane was by creating this vague run-on sentence. The only way he remained sane was by creating this vague run-on sentence. Killing Phil. Crazy out there. Watch your step. Yeah. Grazing on the green, 22 cows draped in the serene scene, tasting the fertilizer. This herd comprises the latest dream team. The herd arise and earn his prize, the type that makes his knees sing a song of quake and triumph. His farm will proceed to function precisely the way it always has. The cost of consumption is pricey, but the production of war drums forms a conjunction with more sums than sticks can shake at. So he waves his staff and the cattle pay back. Mr. Hosting battles Angus for supremacy over the same grass, growing ever stronger, sporting the pride marks of his present sponsor, counting off the days till the target date, trying to guard his face, knowing he'll be selected quickly to have his choice appealed. The present shifting, utility rules the road. Truth is told through the boldest proof. Who's the cruelest soul? Who withholds the truth? Perhaps the question is, who can fool the gold? Who can fool the killer fields? Where half slaughter the others, lock up the father, and exploit the daughters and mothers. We'll figure out the brothers when they're properly mature. If they're good for anything, it's probably grazing on the hay. 22 cows trapped in static boxes, unable to escape the pre-made fate of tragic clauses launched in effect before their lungs locked in a breath, before their optimistic consciences could posit the threat. This herd is the bomb, representing the abolishment of the herders. Ominous death, the promise of honest is gone. It's business from here and after. They can hear the rapture, they can see how their deeds engineered the clearest pasture. They can smell the greed of the dearest captor. They can taste defeat, and it's clear the masters only chase the tastiest meat. They fight over Mr. Holstein and Angus, trying to figure out for whom the masses might dispose of their pay slips. The purest of matter, tattered and skinned, unclothed and naked, robbed of all that they know is sacred, left for a passionate cook. But who cares? All in all, it's just another slap on the hook. It's just another slap on the hook. Yeah. It's the killing fields where half slaughter the others, lock up the father, can exploit the daughters and mothers. We'll figure out the brothers when they're properly mature. If they're good for anything, it's probably manure. It's the killing fields where half slaughter the others, lock up the father, can exploit the daughters and mothers. We'll figure out the brothers when they're properly mature. If they're good for anything, it's probably manure. I'm devoid of orbit, and I'm battling addiction. I'm a cyborg, a mixture of reality and fiction, a fissure of brutality's ambition, a fixture in totality's convictions, and I'm screaming out for help. You see, I'm programmed to reproduce a fallacy of diction, which allows me to reap the fruits of callously vindictive individual criminals who impact the system to allow that which benefits their pursuits to pass as wisdom. You ask, why oppose a vision that is the seed of militarism, capitalism, and state socialism? Good question. I mean, I'm just a little hood rested near the top of the pinnacle. Why would I traverse recklessly? We'll see, the programmer's made a few mistakes, or maybe it's just my perverse destiny. Who's to say? Either way, I'm gonna break it down as follows. A simulation was created to negate the sounds of sorrow, and to understand this matrix, we gotta take a step back, analyze the sources and the makers of our knowledge, identify the tires that were purposely left flat, and ask my voice counts. Why? Cause I've attended college, cause I can pen and polish paper, right with the stripes that the goblins favor, applying prescribed writing devices designed to abolish nature. Cite their lines in my framework, lie for precisely the right price and call it pay dirt. Resign and acquire my Hawaiian day shirt, say bye to the bank clerk, fly to an island and die with a brave smirk. It's awfully enticing, a path I've traveled often, but a sneaky ghost has found its host and made the gravel soften, causing me to pillage the coffins of lost narratives spawned by the clerics, labeled as God's heretics. Those viruses who always opposed to a clean church have made me question anything of mine I've ever called research. My cause is that of those known as attention deficits, or is it? Maybe it's pretentiousness, maybe it's my excuse to choose a contentious nemesis that I can use to pursue membership amongst a few who get to meddle with the settlement of issues that I'm both a victim of and unintentionally reproduced through the misuse of established tenets and methods of knowledge production. I really don't know, but I feel like there's gotta be something I can do to figure this out. The challenge is daunting at best, but there's no choice. I have to put these hauntings to rest. Have to. What the fuck am I doing? Now, as one who cautiously identifies as a researcher, I have to analyze the cause, the precursor to events readily evident, empirically quantifiable, heavily relevant, clearly undeniable. But what if, just what if, causation comes after the action? What if the herald to knowing is to master subtraction, to master the absent act of unmasking the faction, accountable for fabricating the past that I basket? What would I look toward to capture the facts that I fashion? Are the answers beyond what any class could imagine? I'd have to listen to the ghosts and their parables closely, examine the package of clues that the clerics would show me. I'd have to listen to myself and my infinite squalor, allow the intimate visions within me to fidget and wander, to visit and ponder the fishes that spawn up, and let them marinate until there's some sort of interest to conjure. Break free from the cold hard heart of irrelevance and use the tools I have to expose the art of intelligence. Break free from the cold hard heart of irrelevance and use the tools I have to expose the art of intelligence. Break free from the cold hard heart of intelligence, yeah.
Too much. when you're outside, you're inside because you're always inside your head. However, yes, sometimes when I'm sitting here, I do relax, I'm just sitting in the dark. It makes me feel like I'm sitting outside. So what do you do with yourself here at the night time? Read. Think. What do you think about? About my life? Is that horrendous for you?
Once upon a time I had a destiny. I was blessed to be a resident, nestled deep within this pleasant seat. Hesitant at first, watching as my brethren wrestled next to me over some food scraps. Feuds lasted centuries, at least it seemed. Soon enough I figured out that compromise would keep me outside of a bigger mouth. And hell, even on those few occasions when I proved impatient, I'd lose a segment but it'd grow back, and so I grew complacent, moving adjacent to the ocean floor, hoping for an indication that I was making the right decisions. I waited through the days without taking the time to listen as this great lake steadily changed into life in prison. The only way I found to maintain on a daily basis was to latch on to a maiden drift wherever the waves would take us, making believe that I was just great and at peace, when in reality I was completely afraid that they'd leave. And well, they left me high and dry so often that my shell became my fortress, and it coarsened as I roared through high hell. I stored things inside and rarely interacted with my own kind or any other for fear that it'd be extracted. So when we met, all you saw was a star of the sea. You chased my soul but never fathomed how hard it would be. You never could have guessed just how dark it could be. Beyond each wound there are older scars underneath. Oddly enough, you never stuck to the script. You were supposed to move along like motherfuck this, I quit. Instead you sucked it up and never gave in to my demons, even if you thought they stayed around for the craziest reasons. No matter how I deny, I miss those depths, and I'm sorry if I made us miss some steps, but skip regrets. I know I'll never feel as if I paid dues. I know I've said I love you, but I'm pretty sure that I never thanked you. I know I'll never feel as if I paid dues. I know I said I love you, but I'm pretty sure that I've never thanked you, so thank you. Time is a beautiful thing. It brings structure and stasis and allows us to collaborate with hundreds of places. Each one of us bases our lives upon this chosen convention, but these days it feels like all of us are owed an extension. Whether you're boasting a pension, in the throes of depression, or anywhere in between, you're likely prone to the tension that ascends from the sad fact that we're basically trapped by this broken invention that nature so hastily hatched. We have to wake up at work, we have to get to class on time, we have to spend the cash to get a pass to get past the line. We have to be extra efficient with our time to clip the losses, so we batten down the hatches extra tight, but in the process we miss the sleekness of the sky as it meets with the clouds and the sun peeking out. If and when it's briefly allowed, we miss seeing the crowd erupt when our team hits a jumper. If we had one moment, we could have perceived it with wonder. Instead we needed to run because that meeting was vital, or because we needed to eat before the evening's recital that we promised our dates we'd take them to. Traffic's moving slow, so we drive like maniacs, crazy fast, but in doing so we miss the symphony of motors as they hum in unison. We miss the howl of the wind when a cold front cruises, and we lose the beauty of music as it seeps from the speaker. If we listen close enough, we don't even need a receiver. Never mind that, we have to catch the bus or the train, because trying to catch a taxi in this dumping's insane. And if we miss our appointment, we'll have to pay to revisit, which wastes more time. But if we get away for a minute, we take in the smell of the meats and the greens at our dinners. We take in the scent of munitions when the spring battle's winter. We take in the fragrances of people trying hard to entice us. Imagine the opportunities we let fly by us, because we have to find someone to to keep an eye on the kids, since we waited till the day before Christmas to buy all the gifts. When we got the wrong ones, their faces filled up with anger. We're so busy with our lives that we treat our children like strangers. That's the perfect indictment of this intensive plot. And there's a certain excitement present when we work against the clock. But is it worth the bits of life we lose? In our busy plights, we choose to focus on the blatant. We're just fishing for a right excuse to race an event, thinking that fate is our friend. Yet no matter how hard we chase, it always waits at the bend. And no matter the mark we make, it always fades in the end. So why can't we just relax and enjoy this place to a dead? Life is a beautiful thing, it never ceases to wow me. Still the ways that we disregard its many trees is astounding. It's no wonder we're completely fried out as a group, but that we have the chance to change it right now is the truth. I'm not saying that we should be monks denying emotions, I'm just saying toss your watch, be alive for the moment. Open your mind and just zone in, feel the life as it flows in the same way I did when I wrote this rhyme that I've spoken. Don't end up being the one who turns out despaired and spent, cause you've lived your entire life and have no clue where it went. What does one do when one can no longer justify their passion for an action that has absolutely sucked them dry, to the point where the distractions multiply and the reinforcements that were once prized become nullified? Well, hello and welcome to my humble life, where ease is only found at the end of the tunnel's light. Doom and gloom have consumed this front of mine. Scrumptious fruits once bloomed, but now the flume runneth dry. What was I supposed to do? Front and fine and coast on through, cutting line and shut inside the stuff that I compose for you. Just resign and hope a few of you folks will show and prove. I don't know, but I know that it's high time to expose the truth. I set sail, determined, equipped with patience. Now my thumb and forefinger share permanent indentations. Searching for inspiration was miles beyond my fathoming. That is until I saw it happening in first person. I was productive and all, and I bucked through the flaws, but in the process I stalled and suffered the loss of all that ever caused me to write in the first place. And in its dearth I've endured your undeserved praise. Not undeserved in the sense that the product was lacking, just undeserved in the sense that the thought of extracting a verse was appallingly racking. And all I kept asking was how many more possible ways could I create a story that hadn't been recounted and wouldn't be vague and boring, wouldn't be fake and gory, and would give me just a taste of glory, so I could take my place as great like those who came before me. I hate to say, but when I faced my fate I grew to see it wasn't all that it was claimed to be. And truthfully I sorta wish I hadn't gained that fame so I could truly be free from those groovy decorations, cause all they ever yielded me was grueling expectations. Then again, perhaps it was that massive pressure that made me the prom king rather than the passive jester, that gave me the insight to excite legions, that made me realize I wasn't cruising the ship for the right reasons. At this point I don't really want the compliments, unless you honestly believe that I'm dropping some awesome shit. Y'all don't owe me squat except an earnest chance. I'm just a bit of skill, bit of luck, and a ton of circumstance. Maybe you'll think I'm foolish for expelling this, and I understand that sentiment, but please tell me this. What was I supposed to do? Front and lie and cloak the truth, cut the line and shut inside the stuff that I compose for you? Or just decide that it's time to get a plan set, find a beat that works and get this out of my damn head? What was I supposed to do? Front and lie to cloak the truth, cut the line and shut inside the stuff that I compose for you?